You're welcome back to the Pulse, and it's not time for sports. Gary Smith joins you. Been a while, Gary.
Yeah.
Hope you're good.
Yes,
Things okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, before we talk about Champions League action, I read the story yesterday, so I'm a bit worried about it. What's this thing about Big Sam and his big mouth getting him in trouble?
Nice play on words. So Sam Allardyce, the England manager, is currently meeting with the FA. I think the meeting has ended because of an investigation that was put out by the Daily Telegraph newspaper in the UK. Apparently, they've been following him for 10 months to be able to ascertain that he is corrupt. What he did included, one, he spoke very badly of former England coach Roy Hodgson. He imitated his stammering, called him boy, and said that he wasn't fit for the job. He also said Gary Neville was a bad influence on Roy Hodgson and said he should sit down and shut up. And he also did a couple of things. But the main one was that he had apparently agreed to do some corrupt things. Now, the Daily Telegraph newspaper had posed as agents from the Far East to be able to influence him so that he could accept to contravene some rules. There's something called third-party ownership, where you and I can own a player but not directly and get some money off it. Yeah. That practice is legal in many countries, particularly in South America. You might recall that Neymar's problem with Barcelona, where they were fined, was also because of third-party ownership. Even one that was recent
in the Premier League that I recall is the Mascherano-Tevez situation.
Thank you.
Alan Pardew got in a lot of trouble.
In 2008 it was outlawed in the UK, and since then FIFA have also gone on to outlaw it in 2011. Sam Allardyce said that he knows ways that the agents, the undercover reporters, could go around the rules and they could make some money, and he could make some money to the tune of about £400,000.
Well, that's a lot of money. But you see, small question to this: when you keep a man for 10 months on tailing, and he's an ordinary person, like a regular guy, he can say virtually anything and everything.
To localize this discussion, it's just the same as Anas Arimia or Anas' methods. People say that the end justifies the means because Anas exposes corruption at the highest levels of society. And the way he does it does not matter. It is the result. So the Daily Telegraph are going to argue that if the man has integrity, if you pursue him for 1 year and ask him the same question, he's going to say, no, I won't do it. But once he has corruption in him, he is going to do it. That is a question for the next ethics class of journalism school, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes. And it's worrisome because Big Sam got the job, how many months ago was it?
Just 2 months. Just had 67 days, actually.
I mean, it's sad to see this happen. But anyway, in the world of football, just like in every sphere of life.
They say, as they say, every man has his price. So, as you are here, you may not be corrupt, but if somebody pursues you to, influence you in the way you do your job, some people feel that eventually, if the amount is huge, you may crack. You will crack.
Okay. I can only wish Big Sam the best. And if he's guilty of this,
needs it.
He needs to really clean up his act, because honestly, it's not pretty for the game. It's not at all.
Especially for the English FA, who like to set the bar for morality very high. When FIFA issues comes at Blatter, Platini, they are always taking the moral high horse. We wait how they are going to rule when it's
if this lens is shifted to Africa, what will it look like?
Well, it's pretty much the same. I mean, several government institutions always say that they are clean, but when it happens to their person,
then we'll see the difference. Anyway, let me leave you to do the Champions League build-up for today.
Right, so that's it on Big Sam. But on the field in Europe, there is plenty action happening. Last night, you may have seen that we had a Champions League preview. We are continuing with arguably the game of the day, which will be at the Signal Iduna Park or the Westfalen Stadion. Borussia Dortmund are gearing up for their epic clash against Real Madrid.
Zidane, you remember the incident that happened in Las Palmas, and according to report, Ronaldo was obviously not happy when he was sacked a few minutes before the end of the game against Las Palmas. And according to reports in Spain, especially the Catalonia newspapers, they are claiming Ronaldo used the F word on Zidane. So we are going to observe how the two are going to relate on the pitch. But Ronaldo is the smoking gun of Real Madrid. Obviously, he's the alpha and omega of the team. So you have to pamper him to get you the results you want.
But Zidane is not exactly pampering him, because this time, last season, Ronaldo would not listen to anybody, and he played almost every minute of the season in all competitions, more than 50 games. It was physically, it was a torturous season for him, considering that he He also went to the Euros. Do you think that the policy of rotation at Real Madrid is a good thing, considering that they are dropping points and people are angry?
Yes, you have to rotate because you are talking about 50 matches this season. Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League.
But the argument is that consistency-wise, they are suffering. They have dropped as much as 4 points from 2 games.
It is because they don't have strength in there. Look at Barcelona. They are Enrique is sports for choice. For me, he's like a kid in the candy shop. But same cannot be said of Zinedine Zidane. And the players are going to get tired around March, April, May.
But the problem, not even the problem. The thing is that the players you say are going to get tired have done that consecutive seasons. They say, play us.
But I'm saying that
play us.
Those players are not growing younger, are they? They are growing
But
older.
they want to play.
You want to play, but the manager has other ideas.
But the other ideas, what is happening is that Real Madrid fans are saying the other ideas are causing you to drop points.
Zidane is in a very big phase, and he cannot sign a player in the next 2 consecutive transfer windows. So big blow for Madrid. But let's focus on this game. Dortmund are in great shape. Great shape. Dortmund play splendid football, and at the Signal Iduna Park, I don't think Real Madrid will survive.
You don't think they'll survive?
No.
Wow, that's a bit.
If current form is to go by, I mean, if you are to base our analysis on current form, I don't see how this Madrid team, the Madrid team I saw against Las Palmas, will beat Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park.
As we know, the Champions League is a different kettle of fish when it comes to Real Madrid. They seem to come alive in that competition, and it's the reason why they've been in it for about 20 consecutive seasons now. It's a big deal for them, and the man they'll be facing, one of the key men they'll be facing for Borussia Dortmund, is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. A special match for him. His grandfather has just died, and his grandfather had told him that he wants to see him play for Real Madrid before he dies.
Wow.
And only in the past week, we had rumors that Real Madrid will be looking to sign him very soon because he's so consistent, isn't he?
Very consistent. I like him so much. He gives coaches a lot of options because he can play as a main striker, he can play from the flanks, he can also play as an auxiliary striker. That's the main man behind the striker, and he brings so much to the team. He has tremendous speed, and in the penalty area he's clinical. He will score against Real Madrid, I think, because I mean, if he does get a goal, probably after 2 transfer windows they will come for him.
You can trust Real Madrid to be able to do that if he's consistent. Now, lest we focus on only that game, Leicester City are also in action. As we can see there, we have Leicester playing Porto, Sporting Lisbon, Legia Warsaw, CSKA Moscow, Tottenham, Dinamo Zagreb versus Juventus, Monaco, Leverkusen, Sevilla, Lyon, and also Copenhagen Club Brugge. Let's focus on Leicester.
Yes.
First time, big match for them.
Yes, they started on a promising note. They won 3-0 away. They are playing against FC Porto, former winners of the competition. FC Porto are very, very strong. I watched them in the playoff versus Roma, and they play expansive football. They are very, very dangerous, and they have a very good coach, Nuno Espirito, the former coach of Valencia. But
I like his name, Nuno Espirito Santo.
Yes,
yes. Sounds like a poetic. Yeah, sounds like a Catholic, thing.
But it's not about names.
Yeah, it's not about names, especially not to catch you, considering that FC Porto have not won in their last 16 attempts in traveling to England. They have still to get a win. 16 matches in England, and they are yet to win. Can they do it tonight?
But we can say that they don't have luck in England. I mean, 16 times, not even once. I don't think they will beat. They will get a result at the King Power Stadium. Leicester City is a very important game for them because if they're able to get the 3 points, their chances of going to the next stage very, very high.
Almost done.
Yes, almost done.
Yeah. So there are other matches as well, as we saw. Monaco are eyeing back-to-back wins as they prepare to meet Leverkusen, and we'll be seeing that later in terms of the previews. But thank you very much for your analysis, Asare Mediakon. And for the Champions League, you can join us on Twitter. That's at Joy Sports GH for our live updates. And also, after the games, you can check out our match reports on myjoyonline.com sports page. But before then, you can also go to the same website and see our previews of every single one of the matches being played today and tomorrow. After that, well, come back to us. My name is Gary L. Smith, social media. Get us all there. We'll see you later. That's the sport.